Hello everyone, very good morning and welcome back to the Bureaucrats with Ravi Singh. So guys, my name is Ravi Singh and I'm your guide, I'm your mentor, I'm your teacher, I'm your friend and I will help you in your UPSC CSE preparations and I will promise you and make sure that I will provide the best content that will help you to crack your examinations as I am teaching the science and technology, internal security, and also the optional paper of anthropology. So nowadays, when we are talking about the optional paper, it is very difficult to everybody to decide which is the most suitable optional paper for his preparation or her preparation. Okay, the most difficult thing to choose optional paper. Okay, as per my opinion, as I have observed that one should have to choose an optional paper on their own stream, on their own interest. If he or she have an interest in public administration, then he or she can choose the public administration, geography, history, polity, sorry, PSIR, economic, or anthropology. But when we are talking about the anthropology, so why the people are choosing the anthropology? And there are some myths are also available for the anthropology. So the best thing by which that that helps candidates to choose the anthropology, if we are uh, looking backward, if we are seeing the last previous year question papers, then we will get it that 80 to 90% questions has been asked from the syllabus, directly from the keywords given by the UPSC in the syllabus of anthropology. Okay, that's why the aspirants are choosing it as their optional. And if I'm talking about the results of 2023, as you all know, the result of 2023 UPSC CSE has been updated by the UPSC. And if I'm talking about the top 20 candidates, so we will get it 7 to 8 students have been choosing the anthropology as their optional. Okay, so it is very interesting. Apart from the other subject, it has the most explained syllabus. It has the most explained syllabus by the UPSC. Everything is given in detail, and the question has been asked directly from the keywords given in our syllabus. Now, this is about the anthropology. Now, the term anthropology, what is mean? What is anthropology? What is anthropology? What do you think? There are lots of myths about the anthropology. There are lots of myths about the anthropology that many of the students of humanities backgrounds, you know, have fear about anthropology, because there is a section of anthropology that is known as biological anthropology. So they think that we have to study the biology. Okay, but nothing like but we just have to go through to the some sections of biology. Okay, now what is anthropology? It is a Greek term, as we all know. It a Greek term. that comprises of two terms. First is anthros and second is logos. Anthros and logos. Anthros means to anthros means to humans. Anthros means to humans and logos to study. So we can say that the study of humans is known as anthropology. The study of humans is known as anthropology. Now you have questions in your mind that, sir, in the science, in the biology, we also studied about the species, about the plants, about the animals, about the genes, about the DNAs. So why this another subject named anthropology is coming? Now, one more thing about the anthropology, as in India, there is no academic background of anthropology till now. We have never heard about the anthropology in our academics, but we can do our graduation and post graduation in the anthropology as BA, BSc in anthropology, MA, MSc in anthropology. It is the only subject, it is the only subject that comes under in both science and humanities section. Okay. Now, or we can say that it is the perfect blend of science and humanities. It is the perfect blend of science and humanities. Perfect blend of science and humanities. Perfect blend of science and humanities. So every student, either it is from the science background or the humanities background, can choose it as their optional subject. Okay. Now listen that I have told you that the anthropology is the study of human being. The study of human being. Study of human being. Now, what should have to study in this section, in this subject? So first of all, we have to study the anthropology in not even the humans, also about the human societies. Study of humans as well as the human societies, cultures, religions, about the cultures, about the religions, about the societies. So it is a complete package where we have to study about the humans, and in a holistic approach. In a holistic approach, we have to study about the humans in a holistic approach. So we can say that the study of humans in a holistic way is called anthropology. And second thing, the another thing is the study of humans on the basis of time and place. Okay. So there is no foundation of time and no foundation of place. Many times students think that we have to study about the tribal peoples, we have to study about the tribes, we have about to study the poor peoples in anthropology, but it is nothing like that. There is no boundaries of places. We can study about the people living in America, people living in America. We can also study about the people living in African region, tribes of Indian origin, like Bodos, like Santhal, like tribes living in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So we have to study about every particular thing, every each and every tribes, peoples, their evolution, the evolution of people. As we have studied that we are the Homo sapiens are our ancestors. Okay, our ancestors are the Homo sapiens, and Homo sapiens comes from the apes. So, uh, from the time, from that time, we have evolved. We have evolved. Some genetic changes has been appeared in our body, like when we are talking about the gene modification, gene editing, genome sequencing, DNA finger, fingerprint. So everything we have to study the humans in a 360-degree way. Means everything about the human, their family, marriages, marriage, culture, society, environment, environment, kinship, etc. And also the role of society on the evolution of human being, the role of environment, the role of geographical conditions, the role of families, the role of kinship, how they impact on human being, on human being. Okay, now, now, next thing is the anthropology. The anthropology has been divided into four sections, and these this division has been done by an American anthropologist named Franz Boas. Franz Boas, who given who suggested that there are four disciplines, four sections of anthropology named physical or biological, anthro. Second one is social social anthropology, cultural anthropology, and archaeological anthropology. Okay, these are the sections, and under it, genome sections and the cultural, environmental. There are lots of subdisciplines of anthropology. Okay, so in this physical or biological anthropology, we have to study about the instinct feature of human being, instinct features of the instinct uh, human being, how the gene impacts on the evolution of human being, how the cell how the cell is working. We have to study about the cell division. Okay, and in the social anthropology, sorry, I have making a mistake. Linguistic anthropology. Okay, social or cultural anthropology. Here we can say that social or cultural, and linguistic and archaeological anthropology. So now, see one more thing. What is it? As I have told you, anthropology is the perfect blend of science and humanities. Okay, and one of the most prominent or most best anthropologists named Alfred Louis Kroeber, an American anthropologist, Alfred Louis Kroeber, says that the anthropology is the most scientific of all the humanities and most humanistic of all the science. Anthropology is the most scientific of all humanities and most humanistic of all sciences. What is mean? What is mean? Means uh, this is the only subject where the humanities have the most scientific things, the most scientific values, and the science have the most humanistic features. Okay, he said that the anthropology anthropology is the most scientific of all the humanities and most humanistic of all the sciences. So, as I have told you, we have to study about the humans in a 360-degree way. Like we have to study about the human features. We have study about the evolution of humans being as compared to our ancestors. There are lots of changes happen in our body before some decades. The peoples living in India uh, love to love to live in a joint family, but nowadays the nuclear family arises. The people doesn't like to live in a joint family. They want their own space. They want to live in a joint family, in nuclear family. And how it impacts on the society, how it impacts on the society, how it impacts on the human being. We have to study about it. What is the role of nuclear family in the societies? As we are as uh, if we are thinking that when the people are living in a joint family, they help each other, they share all the things, with their parents, with their cousins, with their brothers and sisters. But nowadays when the nuclear family has been arisen, everyone wants their own space. Everyone wants their own space. No one wants to help anyone. Even they don't know about their neighbors who is living in their neighborhood. So these are some critical things that we have to discuss in this section, in this subject. Okay, now there is another American anthropologist named Ruth Benedict. Ruth Benedict. What she says, what she says, she said that the purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human differences. As as I told you that have some snake pickles with your lunch or in your dinner, then it is very awkward to us because in India it is not a culture. But when we're talking about the southern Asia, when we are talking about the China, this is common thing. They used to eat the snake pickles in their lunch, in their breakfast, or in their dinner. Okay. If we're talking about the marriage system in southern India and the northern India, in the southern India, some parts there are cousin marriage has been happening. But if we are talking the same thing in the northern India, the people will react. What? How can it be possible? We are brother and sisters. It can't happen. Okay. And another thing, some peoples are living in a place and they marriages, they do the marriage rituals in their own villages. Okay, with their neighbors, with their relatives, with their kinships. So every society, each and every society have their own culture, their own practices. As we are talking about, if we are talking about the religious things, if we are talking about the religious thing, when we are talking about the prehistoric time to the time, we as we if we are talking about the Indus Valley civilization, we have found that the people living in that on that time worshipping the nature, worshipping the nature. Many people like to worship the plants, trees, animals. Some like to worship the spirits. Okay, so everyone have their own choice. Everyone have their own practices. So we don't we can't we can't judge anyone anyone on the basis of these religious things or anything. When we are talking about the Hinduism, there are lots of gods over there: Shri Ganesha, Shivji, Hanuman, Ram, Krishna, and lots of devis over there: Sharda, Kali, Gauri, and many more. But when we're talking about the Muslim community, they are worshipping only a one God, that is known as Allah. When we are talking about the Christian, they are worshipping the Yeshu. Okay, so there are lots of varieties in the world, but we are not bound. We are not bound to study about the humans in a particular area, in a particular village, in a particular society. We have to study about the humans in the entire world where the living beings, where the human beings are living. Either it is in America, it is in Africa, it is in the US, Canada, Russia, anywhere. And we have to we have to observe how they doing their rituals, how they are doing the worships, how they are maintaining the society, what is their occupation, what is the political system over there, how the people are getting their marriages. So we have to study each and everything about the human beings in the entire world, not limited on a specific region or a specific society. Okay, we have to compare it with other, and when we have a view on it, then our opinion may be changed by time to time, as we have observed that this is the culture of that particular region. So they are doing that because their ancestors, they have learned these things from their ancestors. So why we are going to interrupt that? They are happy with their rituals, so let them happy, and we are happy in our rituals, then we are happy. So the Ruth Benedict says that the purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human differences. That's why I have told these things. The purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human differences. If someone comes in our locality and living with us and start eating the dogs, killing dogs and eating dogs, then what will happen? everyone will shop and try to try to see that if anyone comes in our area to live over there, and he started to eating snake pickles, or they are trying to eat the meat of flesh of dogs or animals. So this is not good for the society. People will thinking that this is not good. He's a demon. So people can make their own views on it. So we have to a clear vision. We have to a clear vision that everyone have their own practices, have their own religious practices and their rituals. We never want to intersect them. Okay. So the Ruth Benedict says that the the purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human beings, for human differences. There is one more person, the most prominent person, that is known as Aristotle. He is the father of biology. He is father of the zoology. He is the father of anthropology too. He says that the anthropology is a gossip related to human being, and the anthropologists are the gossipers. Okay, this is about us. This is about you. Everyone sitting over there, sitting who is watching this video, the every anthropology is study of human being, not even for a particular thing, particular man, particular society, but for all the human beings. That's why Aristotle says that it is the gossip related to human being, related to human being. Okay, and there are lots of things. There are lots of things are also like Darwin proposed the natural selection theory of natural selection. And before the Darwin, there are lots of theories has been given by the various anthropologists, various personalities like Aristotle, like the Herodotus, and many more. Okay, they have their own vision. They have their own vision. Now, in the anthropology, we are talking about the evolution of human being. Okay. As we all know, the humanity emerged somewhere in Africa. The humanity is emerged in somewhere in Africa. The first human being was emerged in somewhere in Africa. It may be Ethiopia or anywhere in the African countries. And Africa is also known as the cradle of mankind. Okay, the humans are what humans emerged in emerged in somewhere somewhere Africa, and Africa is known as the cradle of mankind. Okay, we have to study about the humans from the prehistory, prehistoric to protohistoric. Okay, what changes has been made over the time? What changes has been made over the time? Okay, we have to about the study about the evolution. We have to about the reforms in the societies, the in the political system. Okay, in the religious sector, what changes has been made? As we all know that when we are talking about the history, we started preparing ourselves from the Indus Valley civilization. When we're talking about the ancient history, the first chapter is known as the Indus Valley civilization. So we have to study about that thing also here, that how the people are living over there, how the societies are formed, what occupations are have been chosen by the people on that time, how the marriage system has been happening over there, what are the rituals and worships has been followed. So we have to study about all the things, even the history about the societies, about the religious things, about the linguistic, and also the environmental changes, the changes in geographical conditions that also helps in the evolution or impacts the evolution of human being. If now there is a principle that is known as principle of evolution, principle of evolution. What it says, what says, it says that speciation in irrever, irreversibility, parallelism, and convergence, adaptation, and extincts are some of the important evolutionary principles. So, what are the speciation, irreversibility, parallelism, parallelism, and convergence, adaptive, radiation, radiation, and extinction are the some of the important evolutionary principles. Okay, what is speciation? What is speciation? If we're talking about speciation, what is speciation? There was a anthropologist named Mayer in 1970 who defined that speciation is the creation of species. Speciation is the creation of species. Okay, speciation defined as creation of two or more species from one. Okay, from two or more species from one. As we all know, the cell, a cell divided into two new cells, and furthermore, it is continuously divided. So the mayor defined that the speciation is the creation as the creation of a species from creation of two or more species from one. Okay. The next thing is the irreversibility. Irreversibility. What is it? If we're talking about the irreversibility in 1893, in 1893, there is a mm, anthropologist named Louis Dolo. Louis Dolo in 1890. What he said that he was a French Belgian paleontologist. Paleontologist. Okay, paleontologist. Sorry. ठीक है. इन्होंने he proposed the principle of irreversibility, and what is said that one an animal has passed through a number of stages. A animal has passed through a number of stages. A reversion stage by stage to the original ancestral condition does not means the development of human being or the animals has been changed by time by stages, and we are not looking like our ancestors anymore. Okay, there is lots of changes has been happened in our body that is known as irreversible. And when we are talking about the parallelism and convergence, when we talking about the parallelism and convergence, what is it? The fundamental principles of evolutionary biology is that if there is a close similarity, in the total morphological pattern of two organisms, there is a reasonably close phylogenetic relationship between them. Okay, what is it? If there is a close similarity in two morphological pattern of two organisms, there is a reasonably close phylogenetic relationship between them. Means, if we're talking about the plants, if we're talking about human beings, okay, if we're talking about the human beings, that we have similarities, like men's and women's are different, but man having, as we're talking about the siblings, we're talking about the a man. Okay, so two siblings have the same characteristics, some morphological conditions like the color of skin, color of their eyes, color of hair, and the hair growth. If the father is bald, the uh, child will also got baldness. So it is due to the phylogenetic relationship. It is due to the phylogenetic relationship. That's why the similarities and changes has been occurred in the bodies of every. So this is about the parallelism, and when we are talking about the convergence, convergence implies that a close phylogenetic relationship does not exist. Okay, parallelism and convergence says that the similar structure, similar adaptive relationship, or similar behaviors occurs in different groups of animals as a result of similar evolutionary opportunities. Okay, everyone having the similar adaptive relationship, similar behavior occurs, similar structures in different groups of animals as a result of similar evolutionary opportunities. Okay, now the problem which this phenomena of similarity brings up is whether such similarities are examples of parallelism or convergence, or whether they are evidence of evolutionary affinity between the organisms. The term parallelism, the term parallelism, parallelism is restricted usually restricted to the development of similar adaptive features in animals that are related, such as animals belonging to the C model. Convergence is defined as convergence is defined as development in development of similarities in adaptive relationships or structures in two animal species or major groups that are not closely related. Okay, so these are the principles of anthropology, principles of anthropology. Now, there are some more things about the anthropology, as if we're talking about the physical anthropology, if we're talking about the physical anthropology, it can be divided into two sections. Can be divided into two sections. The one is human evolution, and second one is human variation. Human evolution and human variation. As the physical anthropology is the branch of anthropology that deals with the human evolutionary biology, physical variation, and classifications. Okay, it deals with the human evolutionary biology, physical variations, and classifications. As the evolution of Homo sapiens from their ancestors, whereas human variations refers to the differences that exist among individual population. The evolution of Homo sapiens from their ancestors, whereas human variation refer to the differences that exist among individual population. By think that everyone have their own characteristics, have own morphological structures, and that makes differences. That makes create differences between the individual population. The term evolution was firstly used by an English philosopher named to denote the historical development of life. How the life has been changing, how the human being are changing, how they are transformed, how they have evolved from the Homo sapiens to the current men. Now, if we are talking about the evolution can be divided into two subsections. Evolution can be divided into two subsections like micro and macro. Micro evolution and macro evolution. What is the difference between them? If we're talking about the changes within the organism over a period of time. If we're talking about the changes in an organism over a period of time, it is known as micro evolution. When we are talking about the transformation from one species to another, one being to another, it is comes under the macro evolution. Okay. What is micro? As I have told you, the changes within the organism over a period of time. Of time is known as microevolution. When we are talking about the macroevolution, it is the transformation from one species, one being to another. Being to another. It is known as the macroevolution. Okay. The changes involved in rise of human civilization can be called cultural evolution. When we are talking about the rise of human civilization, as we got civilized, we have the most advanced things. If we're talking about the man's in the Indus Valley civilization, and if we're comparing them with us, then we have found lots of similarities and differences between us. It is known as the cultural evolution. Okay. And also there is the Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin in 1859, in the 1859, Charles Darwin in the year 1859. What is he says that Charles Darwin is worthwhile, and he defined evolution as the descent of modification. What is defined? Descent of modification. Charles Darwin is the worthwhile, and he defined the evolution as the descent of modification. He also stated that the species resembling one another because of their inheritance. Why? Why the species resembling one another? Because of their inheritance. Due to inheritance characteristics. Due to inheritance. And the differing from one another. The differing from one another because of their hereditary differences. Because of hereditary hereditary differences accumulated during the separation of their ancestors. After that, Dodson and Dodson in 1976, there was another anthropologist named Dodson and Dodson. He said that evolution is the process by which related population diverge from one another, giving rise to new species or higher groups. Dodson and Dodson stated that the evolution is the process by which related populations diverge from one another, giving rise to new species or higher groups. That was stated by the Dodson and so this is very easy. It is a very interesting subject where we have to study about ourselves. We have to study about ourselves. We have to study about the people living around us, about their behavior, about their culture, about their rituals, about their worships, the society differences. Okay, the religion, about the linguistic features of the societies, so that it will be the most high scoring exam, as we have to study about many things in our history in the society section in the paper 2. In the paper 1 it is related to the paper 1 geographical conditions, the historic conditions. The paper 2 comprises the political system of any country, the society, the ethical rules of any society, how they impact the lives of human being, how they have changed, the religious worships, the religious rituals, the religious practices. So it is not a one only one subject. When we are talking about the science, we are talking about the genes, we are talking about the DNA, we are talking about the cells, the cell division. Okay, we are talking about the morphological conditions. So we have to study all the things by accumulating all the subjects in one. And I will promise you that you will get interest, you will get the more maximum marks in this paper. Okay, I will also suggest some books, but I will try. I will try to compile all the things, all the notes by making it one, and it will help you to get all the things, all the sections that required for your examinations. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm going to end this section, this class, and see you in the next class very soon. Till that time, keep learning, keep revising, keep focusing on you, and also keep your health well. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye bye and take care. See you in the next class.